In this video, I'll look at the Alerts application in CampbellCloud and show how to configure an alert based on a measurement classification. First, sign into a CampbellCloud organization account using user account credentials. The sign-in page can be accessed at www.campbell-cloud.com. If the organization doesn't yet have a CampbellCloud organization account, one can be created from here. Before I create an alert, I need to make sure I have a distribution group configured for sending alert notifications. Creating distribution groups is covered in a separate video. To configure an alert, I first need to navigate to the Alerts application, which is accessed from the left-hand application menu bar. Within the Alerts application, I will see the familiar 3-panel layout. The left-hand panel is where any currently triggered alerts will show. The middle panel shows me the alert history for any alerts that have triggered. And the right-hand panel shows all the alerts currently configured within my organization. I currently have one alert configured, which is shown in the All Alerts panel on the right. This alert is enabled, and I currently don't have any triggered alerts. Now I will create an alert. To do this, I'm going to select Add an Alert from the top action bar. Once I select to add an alert, I'm presented with the Alert Information panel where I need to configure my alert. First, I need to give my alert a name, and I can also add an optional description for the alert. Since I want this alert to start monitoring as soon as I've created it, I'll set its status to Enabled, but this can easily be done later if I'm just setting things up and don't want to enable the alert right away. For this example, I'm going to create a temperature alert based off measurement classification, which I want to apply to 2 of my stations. First, I'll select the stations I want to be monitored with this alert. Now I need to specify the trigger conditions for the alert. I'm presented with the UI to configure my alert logic for my first set of conditions. When configuring alerts in CampbellCloud, alert logic is analyzed in sets. A single set can consist of one or more measurements that are analyzed using the AND logical operator. An alert can also be built with multiple sets. When an alert with multiple sets is created, the OR logical operator is used to transition between sets, but only if the conditions required for the alert to trigger are not met by the analysis in the previous set. This logical operator analysis enables users to configure multi-parameter compound alerts. I'll go ahead and select the measurement I want to monitor for this alert. When I do this, I'm presented with a choice of how I want to select my measurement. I can either choose to select an individual measurement, or I can choose to select a measurement classification, which requires me to have my measurement classifications predefined. I'm going to choose to select a measurement classification. When I do this, CampbellCloud intelligently filters to the measurement classifications I have available for the stations I selected. I'm going to select my air temperature classification and hit Apply. Now I need to configure the operator for my alert. For this example, I want to be alerted if the temperature is greater than 32 degrees Fahrenheit on either of the stations I selected. When I enter 32 Fahrenheit, CampbellCloud tells me the actual trigger value that will be stored and passed through to alert notifications. This will always be in the native units of the stored measurement, which in this case is degrees Celsius. Since this is a simple single parameter alert, I don't need to add any more conditions to my alert set or create a second set, so I'll hit Apply. Every alert requires an initial trigger measurement to be selected. When a data point from the initial trigger measurement arrives, any alert conditions defined within the alert logic will be evaluated. Since this alert only has one measurement or classification being evaluated, this is automatically the trigger condition for the alert. Next, I will define an optional maximum measurement age. When set, alerts won't trigger if any measurements in the alert logic are older than the maximum age defined. The maximum measurement age is particularly useful if I have alerts evaluating multiple measurements, since it can be used to ensure the measurements I am evaluating are all within a maximum age limit, which is always defined in minutes. Now I need to define my notification throttle, which limits how often notifications will be sent for an alert if the alert trigger conditions continue to persist. If the same trigger conditions are met multiple times during the throttle window, only one notification will be sent to all users within the selected distribution groups during the throttle period. By default, this is set to 1 hour. But a user can increase this up to a throttle period of 15 minutes, meaning users would be notified every 15 minutes if the alert trigger conditions persist beyond the notification throttle window. I'm going to keep mine set to 1 hour. Now I will define the alert message to be sent with the alert. Here I can type out a message that I want to be sent with the alert. The message will also show within the Alert UI when hovering over the message icon on a triggered alert. CampbellCloud provides some predefined variables that can be referenced with an alert message. As I type my message, CampbellCloud also provides a message output example with placeholder values used for the predefined variables. This is helpful in seeing what my message will look like. Once I'm happy with the message, I can hit apply. Finally, I can set any distribution groups that I want alert notifications to be sent to. A separate video is available showing how to configure distribution groups. Now I can hit the save icon on the top action bar and the alert will be created. I can see a summary of the configured alert within the Alert Information panel. In the banner bar above, I can see this alert has been enabled and the alert status shows green with no triggered alerts. If I click to view all alerts, I'm taken back to the alerts homepage where I can now see the new alert I just created within the All Alerts panel. An alerts icon appears on the top menu bar. When I have triggered alerts, the number shown in the red circle on this icon indicates how many triggered alerts there are. By selecting this alert icon, a slide-out panel appears showing the current alerts. By default, this shows all current alerts, but the drop-down menu can be selected to filter to active, snoozed, acknowledged, and unacknowledged alerts. When an alert triggers, alert panels are created showing details related to the alert. Within these alert panels, an Actions drop-down selector is used to manage the alert. This can be used to clear or snooze an alert. And if the alert has yet to be acknowledged, the alert can be acknowledged from here. Sometimes when an alert triggers, it may be due to an issue with a sensor that requires a site maintenance visit to investigate further. In this situation, I may want to acknowledge that I've seen the alert and snooze the alert until a site visit can be arranged. From the Actions drop-down menu on the Triggered Alert panel, I can manage such cases. Any user interactions with an alert, such as clearing, snoozing, or acknowledging an alert, are all logged within the alert history. When an alert is snoozed, the associated alert icon changes to amber. At the end of the snoozed period, it will change back to red from the Actions drop-down. I can also reset and clear a snoozed interval. When an alert is acknowledged, a green tick will be shown in the alert icon to indicate that the alert has been manually acknowledged by a user, and the acknowledgement is logged in the alert history. It's important to note that CampbellCloud will not automatically clear an alert. Alerts must be manually cleared by a user. This is intentional by design to ensure that alerts can't go unnoticed. Within the Stations and Networks application, I can see any triggered alerts on a specific station. Within the table view, an Active Alerts column shows the number of currently active alerts on each station. Within a station level view, an Alerts tab can be selected to show any triggered alerts and the alert history specific to that station. A number in brackets on the Alerts tab indicates the number of currently triggered alerts on that station. When alerts trigger, any users included in the distribution group selected for the alert will receive an email notification. Here I can see I've received email notifications for my triggered alerts. I can see the air temperature alert I created is triggered on both of my stations for this alert, since the air temperature trigger threshold I set has been exceeded on both stations. Within the emails, I can see the alert message I defined when creating the alert and specific information related to the alerts. These messages are also available in the Triggered Alert panels and CampbellCloud by hovering over the alert message icon on an alert panel. Thanks for watching this overview of the Alerts application in CampbellCloud.